Hello again, everyone. How's it going today? Happy Wednesday. We are back for some more Lego building. We've got another pair of botanical sets. This one is a full set. This one was a gift with purchase that was available pretty recently, so I decided to do them both at the same time. So let's go ahead and start with the small one, of course. And switch on over to that camera so I can move this one out of the way and reposition myself. So how is everyone doing today? Happy Wednesday. Throws fries at all? I could use some fries. It is a hump day, yep. Alright. So we don't have too much to do with this one. We'll see how it goes. There's bag number 1, 2, and 3. Alright, so 3, 2, and start out with 1. I do like that they've started to put pots with some of these. I think that is, or vases. Pots, vases, whatever. Oh, nope. Don't roll away. Pretty sure my doctor would say no to that, Bahamut, but, I'm okay with that. Supposed to cut back on the carbs and everything. At least that's what they said last time I went in, so I haven't been back, you know. So they can't tell me that again. Alright, let's see. Bag number 1. Alright, starting out with this. Very similar to the base that we had for the one we made last week, the chrysanthemum. I still have not seen that one yet, Lord Canis. There's actually a lot that I haven't seen on Retrax. I need to get to some purchasing. It has been a little while. Okay, on there. Howdy, Kinshir. How's it going? Double stacks of 2x2 cylinder plates. You know, Manos is actually the next MST3K in my personal MST3K revisit. And I think my graphics card just decided to die. Again. Come back. Hold on. Yep. Alright. What do I need to do to fix things? That's back, that's back. There we go. Yep. Video driver crashed again. Sorry about that, everyone. Let's go ahead and refresh the cache of that, because it doesn't like it. At least it's not putting the white background on it again. There we go. Cloth Warthog, subscribed for 25 months. Thank you very much. That will help me get the money for more equipment, new equipment. What is this about Darrow? I don't like any of the art that's out there, except for the like there's very little 2E accurate art. I don't know. It's like they all decided that Duergar and Darrow are the same or something. Now, if you're watching one of my streams, Lel Bunny, for now, assume that it is me at this point. Because it probably will be. It's very annoying. Like, I'm not really doing that much strenuous. I even rebooted. There's nothing I can do to, like, prevent it, unfortunately. Like, sometimes I can go hours and hours and hours without doing it, but like I said, I rebooted. I rebooted 20 minutes ago. I don't know, they look pretty gray to me, Lord Canis. I don't like the Duergar art either, so, you know. Their head shapes are also really weird. Feels like they overdid the insanity thing, too. What if we all collectively bonked my computer to make it work properly? I'm not sure that would work. I'm not sure that would work. Alright, so we got, once again, the Unikitty tails for feet. Maybe that shouldn't go all the way down. Let's see. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. That is going all the way through. Breaking stuff can be cathartic. That is true. I had a friend who we used to, when we'd have like an argument, I'd make something out of Lego and just like throw it on the ground, and we'd laugh, and that would like break up the argument mood. On retrospect, the fact that it was always me doing that should have been a warning sign, but I was also a kid, so, you know. Alright, 2 of those. We got one there, one there. Okay, 6 of... and we do this twice. Did it also break any Lego? Not if you did it right. Did he break my heart like Freddo? No. He just turned out to be, shall we say, self-centered. We'll go with that. Oh, funny little anecdote from earlier today. I was talking to my niece. She was complaining about how much trouble she had with science in school. And I'm like, why didn't you talk to me? I would have tried to help you. And she was like, you were always history uncle. And I'm like, I was science guy too. I mean, I don't think you have to have seen the Godfather movies, which I haven't, to know that reference. That is not exactly an uncommon reference, even if you have not seen the movies. But no, I've actually not seen the Godfather movies. Not a big gangster movie guy. Not I have been deemed history nerd, yeah. Despite also being a science nerd. It's terrible. Well, good luck with that, Ice Oven. Well, maybe it's because I watch a lot of, like, movie-related things. Alright, one spare lavender 3-leaf plant left over. Alright, bag number 2. You were deemed sort of an accounting nerd. I can't say that I knew any accounting nerds. Let's see, we're just doing one of these. Okay. Get out of there. Get out of there. Thank you. Any in there? Nope. There is a lot to see in life, that is true. And it can be easy to miss even famous things that seem like they should be easy to have had access to. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Like, I've definitely gotten the impression that a lot of people who were into bad movies before, like, MST3K, did so because of, like, just random video rentals. And unfortunately, we never, like... I never lived particularly close enough to a movie store at a point where I could go rent movies for myself to have been able to just, like, rent whatever I wanted kind of thing. So rentals tended to be family-related, like, would require parental approval and stuff like that. So it was usually, like good movies. Well-known movies that we would watch, rather than, well, this vaguely looks like Star Wars, let's watch that, kind of thing. Alright, so we got some sand green leaves here. And that goes on there. That is going all the way down there, alright. Okay, 3 dark green lawn connectors. There should be a streaming service for bad movies. There we go. Next up, just the angle connector. Criterion is for good movies. I mean, it does occasionally have bad movies, but usually there is something substantially redeeming about those movies. Like, they're by well-known people or something like that, or like before they were well-known, or something like that. There we go. Get those two on there. Get that on there. Rental stores, you fondly recall your parents picking a nice, fun-looking animation for us, for you to watch back in the day, and it turned out to be Akira. Luckily, I knew what I was getting into when I wanted to rent Watership Down, so I didn't have that problem. On the other hand, my parents didn't, well, my father liked animation, but my mother very much does not. Neither does my sister, really. Better Akira than Watership Down. I don't know about that. I don't know. I love Watership Down. There we go. Get those in there. Oh, we're making 2 of these. Okay. Somebody you worked with called Akira raunchy? Yeah, that's not exactly the term I would use for Akira. That is definitely not the term I would use for Akira. Maybe they got Akira mixed up with something else. Yeah, it's the one with the tentacles, right? Speaking of bad movies, there was a horror movie you tried watching once a decade ago. It was so bad you turned it off within 7 minutes. Probably forgot about it. Well, you obviously didn't forget about it. But now I need to know what it is. I find bad horror can be a lot of fun because it's usually not that scary. I can only think of one scene that barely fits raunchy, and that's stretching it. Yeah. Yeah. It is surreal and weird, for sure. About a bunny and a were-bunny. Well, that definitely does not sound familiar to me. And probably not Night of the Lepus. It's a scary horror film about giant fuzzy bunny oneies. Okay, so this goes there. And this one goes there. I like these. These are nice. It was hilarious. Alden had Dr. Bones. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like, the premise is okay-ish, but at the same time, it's like... I don't know that you could really, really make rabbits scary. Oh, I've been bitten by rabbits, too. I've been bitten by rabbits plenty. I used to have a bunch of them when I was a kid. Tell the bunny was not real because you could see the woman when she leaned down to look at the bunny. She moved the bunny with a stick or string. It was barely hidden. Oh, that sounds amazing. I kind of want to see it now. I wasn't when I was a kid, or at least if I was, then I didn't realize it, but I don't think so. Well, I was allergic to cats, I think, but cats weren't, like, we didn't have cats, and we weren't about to get cats anyway, so... Or dogs, for that matter. You'd watch a Bunnicula versus the Werebunny movie. Okay, there we go. Get these last flowers on there. There we go. Nice little pretty flower arrangement. It would be better with, like, a narrower vase type thing, but it's a gift with purchase. That's fine. Alright, let's see. Spare parts. Olive green 1x1 cylinder plate. Green 1x1 cylinder plate with hollow stud. Dark green 1x1 cylinder tile with top peg. Reddish orange 1x1 plate flower. Brown 2L bar with stop. And beige pneumatic tee. Oh yeah, that's right. We're not actually done with it yet. We have another bag. That is uninvited, where the cat, like the mutant cat, comes out of the normal cat's mouth. Well, bunny. It had George Kennedy in it. Yep. Yeah, that's uninvited. Okay, that goes on there. There's a friction pin, another friction half pin, I should say, here. The problem with Sharknado was, I'm pretty sure that was already designed to be a dumb movie from the get-go, focusing on Sci-Fi Channel having kind of turned into stupid Movie Central at that point. Like, I basically stopped watching the Sci-Fi Channel when they started actually making stupid movies designed to be stupid from the get-go. Rather than bad movies where the people actually tried to make something good. if they're not trying to make something good, it usually comes off really bad. I think that was before they rebranded to SYFY. Why do I remember that one? I've never actually seen it. It was on a Best of the Worst. Red Letter Media Best of the Worst episode. Yeah, Sci-Fi Channel was great for that just low-budget, bad B-movie on the weekend. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not good. It's definitely not good. It can be watchable, but it's not good. So, but Best of the Worst is also we don't really know what this is, so let's watch it kind of thing. And they have occasionally, gotten movies that it's like their conclusion at the end is this doesn't really deserve to be on the panel. It's actually good. Okay, and we have all of these butterflies go on here. There we go. All right, a flesh pink 2x2 dome. Yeah, so like the Sci-Fi Channel would just like get movies that aren't good because they were cheap, so that's how they would get them. But then they started, like it started getting popular. Like they got actual ratings, and so they started commissioning bad movies, and then I think it kind of dried up at that point. Because you need actors who try, you need directors who try. It's like the vision kind of needs to be bigger than their budget and capability. Let's see. These are going on to this part. Okay, there we go. Roughly like that. Oh, actually, then we do close it in. Understood. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, like, some of the movies can be genuinely enjoyable. Like, those tend to be my favorite MST3K episodes, where the movie itself is also genuinely enjoyable. Welcome back, Kinshir. Indeed, it is very pretty. It does not say what these flowers are supposed to be. They might just be kind of generic flowers. The fact that this is just a gift with purchase means that I think they were not as focused on what they might be. Although some of them, like this one, is very similar to one that we're going to get in the bigger one. Same thing with this. I don't know about the others. They might be in some other builds. Oh yeah. No, I mean they're nice. I'm not saying that they're not. I just mean that they might not actually be specific flowers. I do not know. Yeah, exactly. And at times I feel bad for some of the creators, like the MST3K YouTube channel has some old short documentaries, like interviews with some people, and let me tell you, like one of the actors was like, yeah, I'm glad that people are watching it, but at the same time, some of the remarks they're pretty hurtful, blah blah blah. And then you get to like Joe Estevez, and he's like, "Oh no, I love this. I love that people are enjoying my the movies that I was in and seeing me. And that's just wonderful. That's just great, and stuff like that." So it's nice to see when some of the people involved can take it really well. Like that interview with Joe Estevez, he really comes off as just this really genuine, likable guy, which is nice. The comments can be hurtful, yeah. I mean, it can be a fine line. It can be a fine line. There we go. I think this might be a rose, but I'm not sure. We'll know when we do the next one. Probably not, though, because the inner build is the same as many of the roses. The Eye of Argon, is that a book? I'm talking specifically about like the. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of like reviewer comments and stuff like that people can be awful. I'm talking about like the Mystery Science Theater 3000 style riffing. All right, so there it is. Lots of very pretty flowers. And a nice little base for it too, which is also really nice. All right, spare parts, dark pink, 1x1 tile slope, 1x1 quarter cylinder tile, a gold pneumatic tee, a gold 1x1 cylinder plate with under clip, a light lime green 1x1 cylinder plate with hollow stud, a dark gray friction half pin, and a white 3L bar. Okay, let's go ahead and get started on this. Let's just double check to see if it says what those are. It does not. All right. Legendarily bad story. A guy wrote sort of sword and sorcery genre. People have made mad fun of it for decades, and often pretty mean. Yeah, I mean, like I've heard of it. It's familiar, but I don't know it. I haven't read it. And I mean, like, there are people out there who do like reviews and stuff like that who are genuinely mean people who get off on the cruelness, the power they have over other people, and that's not good. Like, seeing that kind of thing is one of the reasons why I tend to kind of make a point of not making too many judgment calls on things like that. You know, in general, I'll be like, I don't enjoy it. It's not for me. You know, that kind of thing. Because at the end of the day, all that really matters is whether you enjoy it. Whether a given person enjoys something. That's the important part. So there's 10, 9, 8. There's 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. These flowers will last forever, but won't smell too much? Yeah. And all of those. Okay. And howdy, Valjerai and Gildatung, how's it going? Remember well because one internet reviewer made a whole video why he wasn't going to review it because of how mean people were about it and how it affected the aspiring writer? Yeah. At that point, it's like, do you need to say anything anymore? Like, I don't, I don't care how good someone's quality is. If their heart is there and they're trying, I think they should be encouraged. Obviously the content can be an issue where I think that's a fair point to be like, no, don't do this. Don't do this kind of thing. Like, that's okay, but quality-wise, it's okay to say, yeah, that's bad, but keep trying. Maybe you'll get it better. Take a million Eye of Argons over any AI slop. Exactly, yeah. Like, that is 100% true. If you try and fail at a creative venture, at least you tried. So little time, so much to do, yeah. Alright, let's see. A gift of creative nature. The LEGO Botanicals collection opens a door to a colorful field of creative possibilities. With sets inspired by flora from all over the world, nature lovers can indulge in a cheerful take on forever flowers. For this set, we curated a balanced composition of popular bouquet elements in an elegant white pedestal vase, with built-in versatility. Camellia X Williamsea. Knight Rider Camellia. Originally bred in the UK, this compact evergreen shrub with glossy dark leaves is adorned with dark maroon semi-double flowers that bloom in late winter and early spring. In gardens, it can grow up to about 5 feet tall and wide. You take a billion bad things over AI stuff? Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, if you're if you're trying to be creative and actually doing something, actually producing something, you actually made that. And you should keep doing that, and you should take pleasure in it. Even if it's like this, just building out of Lego. You know? Ito peony. Intersectional peonies were first cultivated in Japan in the 1940s as hybrids between trees and herbaceous peonies. Their flowers grow up to about 7.87 inches, 20 centimeters wide. Not typically suitable as a container plant, this Lego version, however, is guaranteed to blossom all year. And hydrangea. I'm actually kind of surprised that they're purple rather than blue. So, Paeonia ito and Hydrangea arborensis. Native to Asia, North and South America, over 70 species of these majestic shrubs have found their way to gardens worldwide. The blossoms vary in color based on the pH value of the soil, from blue acidic to pink alkaline and white neutral. A flower made of umbrellas, yes. Oh, they're actually doing all of the flowers up front. Baby's breath, a popular staple in floral arrangements around the world. Baby's breath is light as a summer cloud. As a symbol of everlasting love, it adds an air of grace to a bouquet or centerpiece, even dried in vases or wreaths. Gypsophilia. Okay, that's Paniculata. Paniculata, there we go. And Ramunculus, Persian buttercup, a tuberous perennial. So yeah, that's what we had. That's what this is, Persian buttercup. A tuberous perennial, the Persian buttercup can grow up to about 1.97 feet? 60 centimeters, yeah. Tall. With its densely layered petals in soft or bright colors, this lavish and long-lasting cut flower brightens any space indoors or in your garden. Alright, let's see. Bouvardia. Hummingbird flower. Like a miniature bouquet in every stem, each flower erupts into a delightful little star inspiring its other familiar names, firecracker bush or trumpetella. Originating from Central America, some of its family members can also be found in Europe and Canada. Lily flower. With between 80 and 100 species and almost as many color variations, lilies captivate us with the pleasant aroma and glowing intensity. Symbols of timeless elegance and purity, they are a cherished choice for celebrations and heartfelt gestures. I don't know that I realized that is what fleur-de-lis meant. Fleur-de-lis is lily flower, okay. And lilium. Plant a seed of inspiration. Building a Lego Botanicals flower arrangement is just the beginning. Anytime you feel inspired to rearrange your display, just switch the flower heads between the stems, or mix and match more sets to create all new bouquets, whichever complements the season, your mood, and your interior decor. If you are already a seasoned Lego florist, why not branch out and rebuild your set into different species too? Discover more blooming creative tips with your LEGO Insiders account on Lego.com, Botanicals exclusive, combined with 10342, sold separately. Okay. Four by 4 plate with cutout. We'll start with our vase. Today was the first day of the Wednesday market. Honestly, it wasn't that great, but then again, it was just the first day. Yeah. Probably people still finishing up their stuff and everything like that. Getting everything ready. You planned a 5-book, 26-part series, not well, and due to a gimmick, none of your characters were in useful places for the start of book 2, so took a break. Still on it. Yeah, And the thing is, like, you can go back and revise it. You know, if you're not happy with it, you can revise it. Vase or Vase? Depends on how fancy I'm feeling. Normally vase. But if I'm feeling especially fancy, I could say vase. Yes, yes. So fancy. I'm at the stage of needing to go back and revise all my deity entries, and it's like effort. Just a normal editing pass. Still, it's like effort. Okay, and then on this side... That is an interesting thing that I'm not sure that I thought of doing. That's pretty cool. Been doing a kind of solo TTRPG thing. To one, just practice the craft, and two, as a vehicle to develop world-building game mechanics. That's pretty cool. Alright, there we go, and then we get our... curved top macaroni pieces here. I think an extra layer here to hide... Well, actually, that might do it. Are we going to put those on? Yes, we are. Okay, that's going to hide it. There we go. That definitely hides the different color elements there. Call it a solo D20, but it's more solo 2D8. Could make a blog post about Apshai and Druaga and theories on how they came to be. Other people have done that better than I have. I don't have any special insight. So I would leave that to people who have actually, like, interviewed people involved. I have not. I have ideas, but I can't speak to intent. Like, I don't know if it was a case of, we need some more stuff in here. Or was it really just misunderstanding? Was it misunderstanding on their part or the sources? I don't know. I don't know these things. Well, I don't really need ideas for blog posts. I need to decide on what I'm going to do next and then get started on it, and also work on my old stuff. While also making videos and doing planning for the Dungeons & Dragons game that I'm running and stuff like that. All these things that shockingly don't make a whole lot of money. Whole talks randomly about D&D in that. I would lose so many viewers, though. All is supposed to know everything. Yes, but in my wisdom, I don't let myself remember everything. Alright, there we go. And a double stack of 1x2 half-cylinder bricks. Like, I'm not done with the brainstorming things, but when I'm done with the brainstorming things, then I need to actually decide on what I'm going to work on. I'd gain a following, though? Would I? Would I? Would I really? How many... Yep, ad incoming. How many followers would I gain? Not that many. Not that many. There really aren't that many old school gamers, and I have clashed with quite a few of them over the years. It's not my fault they're wrong. Alright, so that goes right in there. There we go. Okay, and we get our macaroni pieces here. Deity of Space Hamsters. Yes, it's a vase. We are making a vase. D&D might be popular, but not old school D&D. If old school D&D was popular, I would have a lot more views on my D&D streams and the videos on YouTube. And I may be in the top 2% of D&D streamers, but that's a pretty giant exponential curve there. Look away for a few seconds, come back to what looks like a giant set of eyeballs? What? I mean, look, it's a vase. Very thin vase, but it's a vase. Or vase, if you prefer. I've had so many arguments with people who misread rules. Like, there's this line of thinking that fireball creates magical fires. Like, not in terms of the fireball itself, but the fires it starts are then magical. What? Like, I know exactly where they're getting it from, but also it's like, what? How are you misunderstanding that? Separately, it looked like eyes. Old wishes he had the audience roll 20. I mean, roll 20 is the virtual tabletop. Alright, spare parts. Gray, a 1x1 cylinder tile with top peg. Or Dimension 20 or whatever that... I don't even know what that is, so... The field is fragmented, and I definitely don't do video styles of a... You know, videos in a style that is popular. I have no interest in writing or recording and editing and setting up the... I don't really have the ability for it either. Of the, like, the lore video or the how was D&D different or whatever. I know what Critical Role is. I have watched them on occasion, just to see what the hype is. We do have an ad coming up in a moment. So Gilded Tongue, in 2E, it says Fireball creates magical fire. The fireball is magical fire, is what that means. Not, oh, look, these flowers in the area of effect of the fireball failed their saving throw, and now they're burning. That's magical fire. That's not, like... I get where they're coming from, but I fail to understand how they're making that fundamental, like, reading comprehension error. Comparing yourself to a group of professional voice actors is madness. Oh yeah, no, I'm not that good, and that, like, that is a professionally created television series essentially. I'm not comparing myself to that, and I would never be able to do that. So I can set up, and I guess I could post this on the Discord, a little thing indicating, I figured it would be like obtrusive, but I haven't actually seen it, where it does a 5-minute countdown timer for the ads. I could do that. Part of the problem is, yeah, I know, there's an ad. Like, the thing is, I have to look that way to see the ads. To see that there are ads running. Whereas my Lego is here. Just because of the nature of how everything is laid out here. Okay, 4 of those. It's not annoying, it's more that... I don't know, I mean, like, there are ways to avoid the ads for people who want to avoid the ads. There's ad blockers, there's subscribing. Like, that's kind of the point of it all. It's like, if you don't want to see the ads, you can subscribe. I understand not everyone has the money and everything like that. There's also ad blockers. I guess a question that I have is, would people like to see an alert when the ads are coming? And I haven't done it before. Like, I haven't seen how it works, so I don't know how much that's going to be obtrusive and whatnot. But I can definitely turn that option on. Right now, it only shows up for mods. I could also, I suppose, turn off the automatic ad running, since it's not like these are big sort of public draws for new viewers to my channel. No, I get it. I get it. I'm not complaining about what you're doing, Low Bunny. I'm not. But, like, the ads are specifically there so that I don't have pre-rolls when someone joins the stream, because that is like the single biggest bounce thing, and I've seen that happen. I've seen people just bounce right out because they're getting pre-rolls. And I I'd rather that not happen. I get that it's annoying, but also there are ways around ads. Yep. Pop that all apart. Need a letter writing campaign to Bezos? Like he cares? He doesn't care. He's getting, I don't know about a ton of money, but he's getting a big chunk of the money. We'll put it that way. Alright, let's see. So that goes here. There we go. I'd prefer to. I don't have any control over it, though. Oh, I'm sure she's still getting, like, alimony and stuff like that. Okay, and then the final one on there. There we go. Okay, 2 of these. I don't even remember what we were talking about before the ads now. I may have forgotten. I, too, would love to have some of that Bezos money, and it's why we should tax the rich. Need to figure out if you're set up on pre-roll or commercial breaks. You can, like, if you see when you're streaming on your Twitch stream manager, if you've got an ads manager with ads start and blah, blah, blah down in the lower left corner, then you're getting pre-streams, mid-roll ads. If you're not seeing that, then you're getting the just the pre-rolls. I think that's open to everyone. I don't think that's one of those, you don't get this because you're not in the beta group thing. Fireball makes an explosion. Why no sonic kinetic damage? Why no knockback? Because it doesn't create an explosion. It creates a ball of magical fire. Like, there's no kinetic force to it. Like, it doesn't create kinetic force. That's why there's none of that. Overthinking spells is a problem. Okay. We have a beige band there, and a little bit of a wider top up above it. Now looks like an abacus. There's an abacus in Dragon Quest 3. An abacus weapon. We'll see if we get it. It is only for the merchants. Tell your brother that tried to screw you over as DM by claiming Fireball made an explosion and thus enough noise to wake up a soundly sleeping giant. I mean, it might make noise, but it doesn't make pressure. It doesn't explode. It doesn't have to be pressure. It's magic. I mean, sudden heat also could wake someone up. It doesn't say that it's a silent spell. I see no, I have no issues with saying that casting a fireball would wake up foes. There we go. 2x3 slopes. I mean, the Dungeon Master does, you know, like, if they're the Dungeon Master, then what they say goes. Even if what they're saying is different than the rules. Because they're the Dungeon Master. It is full of light, too, yeah. There you go. Math is scary. Okay. Let's get that way. Six by 6 cylinder plate. There we go. And that through there. Alright, let me make sure that is all the way down. There we go. Okay. Can clearly think of this as one of those green oasis thingies. Alright, bag number 3, and we are also going to want these as well. Magic doesn't have to follow physics, otherwise it'd be natural, not magical. Exactly. No, magic follows its own rules. Like, it follows rules, but it doesn't necessarily have to follow natural rules. Physical rules. If it's natural, it's not magic. It can be, like... It kind of depends on your definition of natural. Alright, so we are doing 2 of these. Let's get these radar dishes out of the way. Natural usually... like, you can kind of say that natural in the context of most of D&D means something that exists in our real world. where magic does not exist. That's why something like Charm Animals doesn't work on something like an Aurum Vorax, which is a natural creature in the context of the world that it's in, but it's not a real animal. Need a hand building this flower. In this case, the core is actually made with a few Lego robot hand elements. Right, that's why you have to kind of make your definitions. You have to explain your definitions. Like I said. If it's like natural meaning something from our world, something that is normal in our world. If it's not normal in our world, then it's not natural within the context of the game. I mean, if they're thinking of their god as a daddy, that's creepy. Handy flower bots. I could make some flower bots. Now that would be an interesting challenge. Make some robots out of the botanical sets. A lot of yellow bars with clips. I don't know. I would still say that's pretty creepy. Give the tongue. Doesn't look like there's an extra clip in this set. Very interesting. Yeah, welcome to Magic, not a rogue AI. Alright, let's see. Friction pin in each of these technicals with clips. And then we get a second one at a 45-degree angle. Botanicals? Yeah, exactly. I'm not a very creative robot builder, or I would definitely try that at some point. Consider that tech, if you get it advanced enough, can be magic. Not that it can be magic, Bahamut, but that it can be indistinguishable from magic. That's the line. There is a difference. Alright, and get you right through there. And you right through there. There we go. Alright. But that's the point, is that you can tell the difference if you know it. The point is, like, sufficiently advanced technology to a certain person. Like, that's the key there. It's not sufficiently advanced technology, period. Like, there's always this this element of like viewpoint. Like, someone who develops the technology that to another person is indistinguishable from magic, they understand exactly how it works. To a certain extent, like, you know, do you consider computers magical? Because someone who's never seen a computer before in their life would probably consider it magical. But that doesn't mean that it is magic. I think there was a Star Trek novel that tried tackling if Star Trek tech was magic. I mean, within the context of the show, of the series, of the world, it's not. And that's pretty key. Sure, but like when you're writing a story, you should absolutely focus more on... I mean, you need things to be internally consistent, yes, but it's not unreasonable to not really worry about what is and is not really theoretically possible. I think the original idea of Q would be super technologically advanced, but later episodes of TNG just said he had powers. I mean, yeah, but, like, even then, there's an element of, like... There's... All those are moving independently, and that's annoying me. Let's see. Yeah, these go there. All right. Like, they are advanced creatures. And there is already an element of, like, you know, psychic elements to it, which in our world is pseudoscience, but, you know, I mean, if you're talking about advanced technology in the future, blah, 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 maybe some race did discover and develop mental psychic powers. You know? Whatever. They advanced far enough that they were able to affect the real world the way technology does with their minds. Knight Rider Camellia, those dark red petals have often been used in other colors in cockpits in various LEGO vehicles. They probably cannot say for reasons of licensing. Star Wars TIE Fighters. Let's see, okay. These clip on here. The difference between magic and science fiction, like science in the context of a science story, is whether or not within the context of the world, it is considered science or magic, basically. And there are fantasy tales that have people come to worlds that have genuine magic, as opposed to, sufficiently advanced technology. Okay, then these do fold up halfway. Usually Star Trek tries to say that that's not actually magic, though. Okay, next we do it this way. Anyway, the point is that don't think too hard about the fireball, the physics of fireball, because it specifically breaks physics. Like, that's the point. It's magic. Doesn't have to abide by physics because it's magic. I feel like these should close up more. Okay, there we go. That does it. Okay, yeah, that would do it. Get them, let's turn that way. There we go. I'm trying to, I was trying to fold them up, like, all evenly, but they need to overlap. There we go. There we go. That looks really nice. Okay, so we are here. We want this one here. And we want this one here. Alright, black friction pin, gold pneumatic T, and dark red 1x1 cylinder plate with hollow stud as our extra pieces there. Thing with Mage the Awakening, all your Technocrat character ideas basically are rogues who join other magical groups, so you can upload rabbit raccoon spirits to toasters. Alright, bag number 4. Like, magic obeys rules, but it doesn't have to obey the rules of physics. And obviously there's some rules that it does, like, certain things that it kind of has to obey. And others it doesn't. But, like, if you look at a spell like, I think it's Iron Guard, it makes your body insubstantial to metal. So someone swings a sword at you and the sword just goes right through you, like you're not there. But then someone comes up with a staff, a wooden staff, and they smack you and you take damage. Like, it's obeying some rules. Alright, so we are doing 2 of these as well. Does all the metal on you fall off of you? I'd have to go back and look at the spell. But probably not. Probably metal in things or attached to things do not. But at the same time, like, magic, there is a non-sentient intelligence behind magic. You cast a prayer spell in the middle of melee combat, and the magic knows who your enemies are and who your friends are from your point of view. You don't have to, like, manually say, Joe, Fred, Frank, these 5 dwarves who are helping us out, whose names I don't actually recall. You know, like, you don't have to do that. And at that point, it's basically up to the Dungeon Master to decide, within the context of their own personal game table, like, is that based on inherent knowledge? Is it based on, like, objective truth, or is it based on your perceptions? So if someone is going to betray you, are they a friend or foe? Well, it's up to the Dungeon Master to decide. So, like, the spell could know that the magic on you is not to be affected, but all other metal is. Be a mean way to sort out any traitors? Only if there's a visible indicator of who is protected by, who is you know, like, how people are affected. And I would certainly argue that there isn't. Always pray your DM isn't a jerk. DMs should not be jerks. They're there to facilitate... I mean, A, they're there to have fun, but they're also there to facilitate you having fun as well. Well, luckily, I don't have mass cure wounds in AD&D, so I don't need to worry about that. More red-orange pieces here. I do like this new shade. Again, like, one of the keys to being a good dungeon master is not to get too bogged down in details. I can have you know, I'm not the best on that front. I can get bogged down in details. But it's one of the reasons why sometimes when players will be like, how would this interact? I'm like, do you have that spell? No. Well, then it doesn't matter. Because it's like, I don't want to get bogged down in that. That's your issue with writing, you get bogged down with details? Yeah, you should definitely not get bogged down with details. Like, for one thing, if you're writing a book with, like, a magic system, describe it just enough so that the reader will, you know, that it'll make sense to the reader. But you don't need to, like, describe situations that are not going to come up, and you certainly don't need to describe situations until they come up. Ask again when it's relevant, yeah. There we go. Then on the bottom, get the angle, joints. There we go. I mean, there's also an element from the Dungeon Master perspective of, like, if that isn't a situation... Like, I get questions from some of my players frequently of, like, it's kind of like theory crafting, you know? How would this work in this situation? And I'm like, I don't have to decide now for some of those things. I can decide when they happen. Because there is an element of you know, the game needs to be fun and stuff like that. The author had no interest in putting game mechanics into prose, and you get that? Yeah. They really shouldn't. Like, it's like... Now that the antler ship was destroyed, can you ask what the boxes on it were? Sure. Sure. It amused me that they thought, like, they were worrying about vampires and stuff like that. One of them was the death helm for the vessel. All of the others were fakes. So it amused me that they were all worried about vampires, and I'm like, no, this is just to prevent you from one-shotting the open deck ship's helm. And I'm surprised that they didn't really consider that part either. Okay, that is as close as those are going to get together. Is this... Let's see. Okay, that's about it. Yeah, that's as close as they're going to get together. Really not enough flamethrowers in D&D? It's kind of what Agonazer's Scorcher is. But that is an interesting element of, like, how real world and magic differ. I mean, a flamethrower is not exactly an easy modern technological thing to have in a game, in that, like, you'd have to carry around the fuel, it's limited fuel usage and stuff like that. But yeah, you don't really have a one-to-one relation with that. I think Aker created one with Wall of Fire and the Incendiary Cloud. Kind of. And a something Scorcher. Agonazer's Scorcher. It's a Forgotten Realms spell. Agannazer, I believe. It's basically you point at something, a beam of fire comes out, and it lasts for 2 rounds. You can't move, but they can, which can be fun. Belton's Burning Blood is fun, not a flamethrower, but amusing if your foe is already bleeding. Oh, yeah. I think there's one called Blood Burn or Blood Boil or something like that that actually makes your blood burn inside your veins. And that's just mean. Evil. Yeah, there's Greek fire-type weapons. Really, for the most part, other than being ship weapons, it's mostly just like a type of flaming oil that burns really well. But Greek fire projectors on ships in Spelljammer are pretty fun. Haven't had a real good opportunity to use them. You know what we need is summon cake spells? Well, there is a Snillox Cream Pie Bahamut. Shouldn't boiling blood just be save versus death? I mean, it might be. I'd have to go back and look at what it does. It is pretty awful. It is high level and it is pretty awful. Like, it is explicitly a, you don't cast this unless you're evil spell. There we go. Mean spells wouldn't exist if folks didn't like being mean? Well, yeah, but that's kind of the point of an element of D&D gameplay, is that there are bad people out there and it's your job to go take care of them. Scorcher is amusing if you have a fire immune familiar, target familiar, and have them run behind enemies. Yeah, not too many opportunities for that in 2E. Alright, so we're taking these light cream yellow umbrellas, which they actually reformulated this color this year, because there's been some color matching issues where they haven't always been quite matching the color correctly. We did see that with the Fiat 500, I believe it was, where there were some pieces that were not quite the same shade. And there's some others that have issues. They also reformulated white this year as well. The white won't look different, but it's more opaque. There's a spell, you think, in a D&D version that makes you immortal and takes care of all the needs of the person but inflicts immeasurable pain on the person? I can't think of one like that. Like, that would be a 9th level wizard spell for sure. It did, but like it leaves it up to the dungeon master to allow for it. They had to redo white. They didn't have to, but they did. Like it's. I don't have a good piece, but if you take a large, like, plate, a white plate, and stick a light directly under it, you could very clearly see the white the light through it. So it's kind of translucent. And so I think they reformulated to so that's far less prevalent. What we don't know yet is whether that's going to have any effect on the yellowing that white has a problem with. If you leave the white brick in sunlight, it yellows. And that's been a forever issue. Hopefully someone will do a test to find out. And it's not like full-on yellow like this shade yellow. what it does is it ends up being more like that. I've like I got some Lego pieces from a former friend of mine, and I had like there was one 1x8 brick in white, pristine, perfect white on all sides except for one in which it's like almost the exact same shade as this. What level would a spell that causes total sensory deprivation be? I don't know. I mean, it depends on what the actual mechanical effects are. Like that, like I have a player who is constantly talking about coming up with spells, and I'm like, you got to give me the mechanics before I can adjudicate the spell. The yellowing is why they're a former friend. Oh, no, it is other things. Nothing really bad, just very much drifted away and grew up in different directions, shall we say. He lets his Lego yellow. I actually have quite a bit that has yellowed too, because I didn't know. Ito Peony, did you just get a sudden urge to go to the beach? Maybe you're just realizing, but this peony is made up of Lego parasols, seashells, and even a few crowns. A spell that creates cherries that explode into juice. Again, like, you need to decide, like, does it create the cherries and then do they explode? Does it take existing cherries and make them explode? Does it cause damage? Like, that's all things that you need to think about. I say this having created literally hundreds of 2nd edition priest spells at this point. There we go. Tasty juice damage. Blindness, deafness, no smell, touch, or taste. Say 1 round per level, 1 hit die per level, 30-foot range, 20-foot radius. Save or no save? Also, what are the actual mechanical effects of having no sense of taste, smell, or... like, hearing and vision is easy. Like, that's well known. But there's a reason why cause blindness and deafness don't also have... cause senselessness, cause tastelessness, and cause smelllessness. Alright, so we have one of those orange crown elements, which is oftentimes used for some sort of sea anemone. A brown 6L bar with stop. A beige 2L bar with stop. A yellow 1x1 cylinder plate with hollow stud. And a red friction half pin. Alright, and this one goes on... back here. And right here. Like, I honestly don't know offhand what the effects of tastelessness and smelllessness would be. A penalty to saves versus, like, poison, ingested poison, could be for tastelessness. Smelllessness could be, well, for one thing, that would be immunity to things like ghoul stench. But it might also be like a -1 penalty to surprise unless the creature is, like, a -1 penalty to surprise plus on top of that a penalty, like, losing any smell-based bonuses to surprise. Senselessness, where you lose a sense of touch. That'd be kind of like numbness, and that'd be harder to adjudicate because you gotta ask: is it just fingers? Is it more? Is it your whole body? I don't even know what it would be like for your whole body. Like it's pretty terrible. It'd be extremely difficult. Does feel like a Vicious Mockery is a reflavored magic missile, but it does really fit the bard. It fits a version of the bard. I would say that fits a Scald more than a generic bard. And I would call it, let's see if I got the right term right, flighting. In fact, I may make a version of that. That doesn't exist in 2nd edition, and I'm fine with that as a general spell to not exist, because I don't care for it in general. But that said, I do think that would probably be a pretty good spell for, I think, Bragi, who is the bard, poet, Norse god. Unable to know how much hit points you've lost? Yeah, I can see that. But a sense of a loss of touch would be, like, you wouldn't be able to grip. You wouldn't know your grip strength. It would be like, you know, when you wake up and your arm's asleep. Alright, once again, we are doing 2 of these. See, I'd require them to make a poetry check. A successful artistic ability poetry proficiency check. And then, of course, the enemy would get a saving throw adjusted for wisdom. So there's a fair chance that it wouldn't work, but because there's 2 chances on that. But even then, I don't know that I would do damage. I'd probably have them like do morale or some variant of taunt. Probably not taunt because they can get taunt and stuff like that, but something like that. Some element where they don't take damage, because I don't like that idea too much. For insulting someone does damage, I don't like that. We're thinking more of the psychological distress from suddenly being cut off from the world would have. Yeah, no, I mean, it could, but again, like, you gotta think about what the effects would be. Like, you can't just say it would have psychological effects. Like, you gotta describe what the likely scenario would be. And not being a spell that I'm about to do, I don't have to think of that. And that's also one of the reasons why I tell my players, like, alright, come up with the mechanics. Give me the mechanics. And then they don't do it, because, like, you know, now you know why I don't want to do that. Like, don't make me make the mechanics for your shenanigans. Yeah, they would have to understand the words. Put creativity at the wheel. The steering wheel, designed for larger scale Lego cars, now constructs the center of our Lego flowers. Indeed, indeed. Ads are 5 minutes away. Yeah, I'll go ahead and turn on the thing where it's visible to viewers, so you guys can know. I'll see if that works with the pop-out chat window that I'm using, which it currently does not. We're in the middle of a game when someone mentioned eyes. All you making a bouquet for the Great Mother? Always, always. Hydrangea, can you feel the flutters? We have flown in dozens of tiny Lego butterflies to create the textured globe of this hydrangea. I do wish that these were blue and not purple. I mean, I like purple, but I like the blue better. Like, blue hydrangea is probably one of my favorites. Psychological effects probably wouldn't be immediate if this was cast during a fight. Yeah, like being immediately in the middle of a fight, immediately being unable to see and hear your foe, and maybe even being unable to, like if you're already holding your sword, I don't think that there would be much effect on your weapon. But if you lost it, you wouldn't be able to get it back until your blindness ended. You wouldn't be able to easily. You would have I would have to have, like, a 20% chance to fail the spell for being deaf, and then also, like, 20% chance that you can't get, material components. So, like, a 40% chance for a spell that has material components and vocal components to fail. I don't think that would really affect somatic components that much. Mechanically, they'd be paralyzed, assuming full body numbness and incapable of reacting to anything around them, but they wouldn't be completely incapable of reacting. They would just lose their senses. Like, if they had blind fighting, they could still try to attack. You know, they would remember roughly where people were, but they would lose the ability to keep track of people, and so they'd be suffering big penalties for the blindness. Like, if you want actual paralysis, you know, I'd probably have their movement too or something like that, but if you want an actual paralysis, then you might as well just cast Hold Person. Like, or paralysis or some other related spell. I don't think that losing all of your senses would cause paralysis. Now, an individual might decide to not do anything because they're so worried about, like, hitting friends or something like that, but it is also a little bit different. Would they be stuck listening to Elton John songs too? I think they would just be hearing the roar of emptiness in their ears. Oh, goody. 10 of these. This was more amusing for something for an evil wizard torturing people, less combat use. Yeah, there's plenty of torture-related things, though. Like, that's 4. I don't know. I mean, it's just like, you got to think about what the effects would be. What the effects are that you want. Okay, the ads are about to start. I'll tell you my spell creating philosophy when we come back from the ads. 6, 7, 8. You have a lot of these to make. A lot of these to make. So that's 9. And then 10. Alright. Well, I have almost certainly like doubled my stock of butterflies with this. Probably over doubled, more than doubled. So many purple butterflies. Of course, they're unprinted, like the original, like the earliest ones. That's 6. Seven. 8. Wait, no. That's 7. That's 8. 9. Yeah, they are a very nice color. They are a very, very nice shade. I would still prefer blue. Like a light blue. Not like the lightest blue, but... And not one of the azures. I don't know. Maybe one of the azures. I'd have to think about it. I'd have to look at the blue shades to figure out what I'd want. Regular blue could be nice, though. Alright, so that is 10 on each of these, so let's get these on. Let's go ahead and start at the... the crossbar part. I would like a large plate of fries. Oops. Keep those separate. Why not all the shades of blue? Well, hydrangea don't have variable shades as far as I know. What are the best fries? Roy Rogers. Roy Rogers makes the best fries when they're fresh. "50 Shades of Blue, a Union Story." Okay, there we go. There's our first rank there. Okay, so the ads should be done now. My basic starting, I don't know, premise with the spell is first decide like what narratively you want it to do, which and narratively includes like when you would do it. Is this a combat spell? Is this a utilitarian spell? Is it a healing spell? Is it something else? Then think of the mechanics. Okay, this is what it does. How is that portrayed within the game rules?